Peppa Pig is full of amazing characters like Mr. Potato and Madame Gazelle. But did you know that the show also has several mysterious characters we know very little about?
Wow!
One background character who appears in a few episodes is a little pony named Penny Pony, and yes, that's her official name. But how did we find out the name of a character who only appears in the background? Simple, she was originally supposed to be a major character, but she ended up being replaced by Pedro Pony. That's right, Pedro was originally going to be a girl. Since that idea was scrapped, they decided to reuse this early version of Pedro as a background character. Still, that doesn't mean Penny couldn't become important in the Peppa Pig universe. She could easily be Pedro's cousin, and an episode focusing on her would be amazing. But for now, we have no idea what became of Penny after she was replaced. We just know she exists. And Penny Pony is far from the only mysterious figure in this series. In fact, she's just the first of 12 mysterious characters you need to know in Peppa Pig. So get ready, it's time for another Cinewave. If you thought Penny was the only possible relative of Pedro Pony, think again. Soft Play is one of those episodes where we see tons of characters, as George's best friend's birthday party was packed with little kids. Among them, there's a little pony girl in a yellow dress playing in the ball pit with the others. We don't know anything about her, but Peppa fans have decided to call her Pearl Pony. Since she's a pony, the first thing everyone assumes is that she's another mysterious relative of Pedro. Some think she might be his younger sister, but if that were the case, why is she barely mentioned? The most likely answer is that she's not his sister, but a cousin, or something similar, who lives outside of town and only visits occasionally. Like any kid, she loves playing in a ball pit and eating cake, so she probably traveled to town for Richard Rabbit's birthday party as a special guest. Who hasn't gone to a stranger's party just to enjoy free food? And if Pearl is Pedro's cousin, then she's probably Penny's sister too. Could we one day see these two take center stage together? Another background character you might spot in the crowd from time to time is Miss Bear, who has never had much focus in the series. Her first appearance was in the episode Mr. Potato Comes to Town, where she can be seen among the rest of the cast, eagerly waiting for Mr. Potato's arrival. You can also find her in the biggest muddy puddle in the world when the entire town gets flooded. Miss Bear is one of the characters hitching a ride on Grandpa Dog's boat. She gets a bit more attention in the episode Once Upon a Time, where we learn that she lives in a cabin in the woods and is the mother of Belinda Bear, as well as the wife of Mr. Bear. Not to be confused with Dr. Brown Bear, since one wears glasses and the other doesn't. In fact, many fans theorize that Dr. Brown Bear might be her brother. Now, one character who is truly mysterious is without a doubt the young cow who appears in Mr. Potato's Christmas show. She's seen in the audience watching Mr. Potato's play along with the other kids, and that brief appearance was enough to spark theories about her origins. The Peppa Pig fandom decided to call her Carol, though her real name is unknown. The most popular theory is that she's Mrs. Cow's niece. Others believe she could be Mr. Bull's daughter from a previous relationship before he married Mrs. Cow. However, the first theory makes more sense, as Mr. Bull has never mentioned having a daughter, which is strange considering that's a pretty important detail. He has appeared in many episodes, so if he had a daughter, he probably would have mentioned her at some point. Unless, of course, Mr. Bull went through a divorce and his ex-wife has full custody. In that case, it would make sense why he never brings it up. If you think these characters should get more attention in Peppa Pig so their mysteries can finally be revealed, drop a comment below with #mystery. Another mysterious character in the same scene is a black kitten sitting next to Carol Cow, whom we've decided to call Charles Cat. He might be Candy Cat's cousin. It's hard to think of him as her brother since they have different fur colors and have never been seen together, but nothing stops them from being more distant relatives. In fact, he might even be related to another mysterious character, who appeared in Mandy Mouse's birthday, running around the cheese-themed amusement park where the episode takes place. She was on screen for just a few moments, but that was enough for fans to start calling her Claire Cat and even making fan art of her. The Peppa Pig fandom really has no limits. The most popular theory is that she's Candy's niece, which would mean Candy has an older sibling who is Claire's parent. As for Charles Cat, he could easily be Claire's brother. After all, the two look quite similar. Another unknown kid in the same audience where we saw Carol Cow and Charles Cat was a little donkey about George's age. Since he has no official name, we've decided to call him Albert Donkey. Albert is a complete mystery, as we know absolutely nothing about him. But we believe he might be related to the other donkeys who have appeared in Peppa Pig, specifically Delphine Donkey, Peppa's friend from France. After all, Delphine's mother has a sister, Delaney, who could very well be Albert's mom. Could the little donkey be fluent in French thanks to his family? That's something we won't be finding out anytime soon. One background character that Peppa Pig's most observant fans might remember is Mr. Badger. He has appeared in several episodes, though almost always in the background. Because of this, we already know he's just an ordinary citizen of Peppa's town. But it's important to note that Mr. Badger is a farmer, and he probably lives on a farm with his wife. His wife is Mrs. Badger, another background character, who, by the way, appears even less than he does. Everyone loves the Wolf family, especially because of their fun little nods to the Three Little Pigs and Little Red Riding Hood. But there's another little wolf in Peppa Pig who isn't Wendy. She's a background character who shows up every now and then. While Wendy has gray fur and wears a pinkish-purple dress, this other wolf, who doesn't have an official name but whom we'll call Letitia, has brown fur and wears a blue dress. No one has the slightest idea who she is, but the first thought everyone has is that Letitia must be related to Wendy, though that might not be the case since all of Wendy's known relatives are gray, while Letitia is brown. Well, maybe Daddy Wolf or Mommy Wolf has a brown sibling who married another brown wolf, which would keep things consistent and make Letitia Wendy's cousin. But since she doesn't appear often, it's also possible that Letitia simply belongs to another wolf family that lives in a nearby town, so she only visits Peppa's town from time to time. And just like Letitia travels to Peppa's town, you can travel to a world of fun and imagination every day by subscribing to the channel, so don't miss out on this opportunity. Peppa has traveled to different parts of the world a few times, and one of her coolest trips was to Italy, where she met a rather suspicious policeman. He showed up multiple times in the episodes where the pig family was in Italy for one specific reason. Peppa kept losing Teddy, her stuffed animal, over and over again, and the only reason the toy wasn't lost forever in Italy was that the policeman always appeared to find it and return it to Peppa. It's all pretty strange, considering there's no explanation for how the policeman managed to find the stuffed animal every single time, and on top of that, he always managed to track down the pig family afterward. Another interesting detail is that the policeman understands and speaks perfect English, which could mean he's not actually from Italy. Could he be related to Captain Otter? The two do look quite similar. Another mysterious Italian resident is Mr. Deer. One of the more minor characters they met there was Mr. Deer, a vehicle salesman. Daddy Pig rents a car from him as soon as they arrive in Italy, and well, that was his biggest moment in the entire show. Aside from his job, Mr. Deer has a very curious trait. He is the only character in Peppa Pig's 20-year history who doesn't know how to speak English. Even the other Italians the pig family interacted with during their trip were able to communicate in English, but he can't even understand what they're saying. Because of this, we can be pretty sure he has never lived in England and probably has no direct connection to any of the more important characters in the series. Grandpa Pig has some great friends, and one of them, Grandpa Rabbit, plays a big role in several episodes. Mr. Hyrax, on the other hand, is basically just a background character. He's only appeared in a handful of episodes and has never had much screen time, aside from a few minor dialogues. That said, he does have a few unique characteristics. He's one of the few characters in the show who has 3 different jobs, alongside Mrs. Cow and Miss Rabbit, though Miss Rabbit works way more than just 3 jobs. The video is coming to an end, but we've got 2 other fun ones on your screen. Just click on the one that looks the most interesting. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!